Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. The Obi-Wan Kenobi series concluded with an epic confrontation between Vader and Obi-Wan himself. However, with this came a lot of controversy as to exactly how the duel ended, with Obi-Wan Kenobi calling upon all of his strength and defeating the Dark Lord once again, with many people confused about this, as this is an era in Darth Vader's lifetime where he should absolutely be within his prime. It's 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith, and he's been doing nothing but hunt down Order 66 survivors. Some of the most powerful Jedi were of course the ones that survived Order 66. This is a Darth Vader that is also fully submerged in the dark side of the Force as of right now. There's nothing within Vader that is redeemable at this point in time, because the introduction of Luke is what ultimately draws the light back within Vader. This Vader though has none of that, so he's fully committed to the path of the dark side, which should make him more powerful. But as we've explained before in the logic of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Obi-Wan draws Anakin out, but not Anakin's light side, rather his hatred for his former master. And it is this hatred that makes Darth Vader lose once again, as he becomes brash and is unprepared for the might of Obi-Wan. He's no longer the calm, calculated sickle that he would have been fighting any other Jedi, as essentially when Obi-Wan fights Vader he's at his most powerful, but when Vader fights Obi-Wan, Vader himself is at his weakest. This left many confused, however, as this Vader at this point in time very much should have been far more than a match for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and by all intents and purposes, Darth Vader should have won this duel, by the logic proposed by Lucasfilm themselves, as Darth Vader is often depicted as more powerful than Anakin on Mustafar, not because he's more naturally powerful, but just because of the fact that he's far more intelligent of a fighter, far more experienced, and far more ruthless. And it appears as if the head writer of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, who sat down with Star Wars Direct, actually agrees with this fully, as apparently in his ending of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and the original ending, Vader too would have defeated Obi-Wan. But let's go ahead and break it all down here. This comes from the article. When asked about the duels between Obi-Wan and Vader in this series and how they differed from his original script, BD started by saying that his version of their fight took place on a space station that Vader was actually the victor of. The writer revealed that Vader pushed Obi-Wan off of the station, which separated them and didn't allow the fight to finish. In my version, Darth Vader won the fight. They were fighting on this space station. It was falling apart in the atmosphere of this big planet, and Obi-Wan basically fell off of it. Vader pushed him off and they were separated. They didn't get the chance to find Obi-Wan following, but what was going through Obi-Wan's mind is the same thing that happened in the series, that being, my brother is truly dead. He's gone. And while I absolve him of that guilt because I didn't kill him, Vader killed Anakin. I'm still just devastated. I'm absolutely devastated. BD also talked about the importance of having them be separated in the duel, because Obi-Wan would have to kill Vader if he had the chance to, in order to save countless lives, which were mainly other Jedi. The writer also continued talking about this movie, specifically how the beginning of it depicted Vader as being the big grand Jedi killer. To me, if Obi-Wan had a chance to kill Darth Vader, he would do it. I mean, you know how many countless lives he would ultimately save, especially knowing that Vader would be hunting other Jedi, which was established in the show. The film began with Vader taking on 5 Jedi at once and killing all of them, so it established that he is the big Jedi killer. The Inquisitors are capturing them, but Vader is the big daddy who comes in and just kills all of them without hesitation. So according to the head writer, not only was Darth Vader depicted as the ultimate victor in his duel with Obi-Wan, but the Obi-Wan Kenobi film was going to open with Vader dueling up to 5 Jedi at once. Presumably, he would have given them their lightsabers back after the Inquisitors captured them, wanting to prove his superiority over the Jedi and truly making Vader into this menace. This individual that is undoubtedly still more powerful than Obi-Wan, and it is only the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi is ultimately separated by Darth Vader in their confrontation that he is able to live. The writer also talked about how people needed to actually believe that Vader was the one who killed Anakin, with him saying, quote, "How does someone talk about Darth Vader betraying and murdering Anakin and actually believe it? There's got to have been more to that story." And then Padme saying, "Obi-Wan," as she died in his arms. There's still good in him. And the idea that he thought Anakin was dead. He thought he killed his brother this whole time. So she was wrong. But now Anakin is alive. And oh my god, maybe Padme was right. Maybe there really is still good in him. So where did Vader get the sense that Obi-Wan thought there was still good in him? It was that line from Return of the Jedi that convinced them to hire me to write this story. When talking about his version of Vader, Beatty described him as obsessed with Obi-Wan and obsessed with the concept of revenge. To me, Vader in this period is just so obsessed with Kenobi, so obsessed with revenge. You know that he just wants to put a lightsaber through Obi-Wan, and he doesn't want this to be the last second thing. He doesn't want his pain to last one more moment. He wants to kill this guy. In my film, he was under pressure from the Emperor from the very beginning. Pressure to forget about Kenobi. That's Anakin, and that is something that you need to let go of. It's explained that Palpatine has this problem with Vader, and this problem is Kenobi and his obsession, with it ultimately concluding in the series concluding with Vader believing that he killed Obi-Wan by pushing him off of the space station, and this is why he is at peace with him and he is able to move forward past Obi-Wan, not because of the concept that he lets Obi-Wan go and lets him escape in the end and decides not to go after him, which is what the series did, but the idea that in Vader's mind he succeeded and he finally killed his former master, with this relating to why Darth Vader was so surprised in A New Hope to sense Obi-Wan again, and why he immediately went after him. So based off of all of this, we were going to get a very different movie than the TV series that we ultimately got. Vader was going to end up the victor, pushing Obi-Wan Kenobi off of a space station after besting him in lightsaber combat. Obi-Wan was apparently going to go through the same emotions that he went through over the course of the series, realizing that Vader truly is the one that defeated Anakin, and was the one that killed Anakin in the end. It was still going to be definitive though that Darth Vader was the superior duelist and combatant, and that Obi-Wan lost their confrontation. But for this video especially, I would love to hear your input. What are your thoughts on this film and how this was going to conclude with Obi-Wan and Vader being the victor? What are your thoughts on how the series concluded with Obi-Wan actually defeating Darth Vader and then having that final moment together? Which of the two stories do you prefer, and do you like what we ultimately got in the series, or would you have preferred this to be a feature film with Vader very clearly being this mega powerful big bad guy from the very beginning? As always, my friends and students of the Force, thank you so much for watching the channel and continuing to support it. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.